There I am. All right. Welcome to this broadcast. I hope that you're having a great day. And today I want to talk about why you should stop saving for retirement and start investing in a cash flow retirement. And I'm going to give you the steps to follow to get started today on how to build your own cash flow retirement system or program, and how to do it with little or no money out of your pocket. All right, little or no money out of your pocket to get started, and you can start generating a cash flow retirement that will last a lifetime. All right, so if you don't know who I am, I'm the author of 2 books. One has already been published. The other one is about to be published. The first book is called Retire Younger, and you're probably watching this video from Retire Younger's fan page. Alright, so this book outlined one of the phases that I'm going to talk about today, the 3 phases to retire with a cash flow retirement. And so I highly recommend this book, and I'm going to give you the URL right now to go get this book. You can get a free digital copy if you go to retireyounger.us/call. You'll see it at the bottom of your screen. You'll see it right there at the bottom of your screen. The other book that I am currently writing and authoring is called FIRE Made Easy. If you're not familiar with the acronym FIRE, it stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. So I found and developed a system. It's a 3-phase system that's going to allow you to build a cash flow retirement and do it with very little of your own capital. I'm going to show you how to use capital, other people's capital, to build your own retirement fund, basically. And I don't charge anything for this information. And if you go to the link at the bottom of this page, you'll get a free digital copy. I don't ask for your email. And you have the option to schedule a call with me, a one-on-one call. And again, there's no charge. I don't have a program that I'm selling. I don't have a mentoring or a mastermind or anything that I'm selling. All the information that I'm sharing today is free, and if you contact me, all the information that I give you is also no cost and no fees to it. So, as I go through the presentation today, I hope that you come up with some questions. The idea behind this webinar is it's not completely finished yet, and I'm still writing the book. So any questions or concerns or things that you think that I haven't covered and that you would like to see covered in my book, I definitely want to get your feedback. And again, I don't charge anything for this information. There's nothing to I'm not selling anything. And actually, you can get the book for free, a digital copy of the book for free when it comes out. So keep, if you're on the fan page, simply like the fan page. That way you'll be notified every time I do a video, which I'll do a video pretty much daily. Also, please subscribe if you're on YouTube or some other media. Subscribe to the channel, and also like this video and share this video. I'm not going to spend any money in advertising, basically, and the only way to get this information out there is for people like you to share it with your family. And basically everybody, in the United States, because this mostly works in it only works in the United States, the system I'm going to share with you. So everybody in the United States is going to have to retire someday. So this is very important information. If you want it to get out there, I need your help to help me get it out there and share the information. So comment below, like it, and also share the information so that other people can see the information and engage with it. I do appreciate your help on that task, and I think this is very important information. Otherwise, I wouldn't create a whole book about it and then doing daily videos about it as well. So what I'm going to show you is the secrets to a cash flow retirement in the next 5 to 7 years. So the biggest thing that my book teaches you how to do is how to save time, right? Time is the biggest thing that I'll be talking about throughout the book and throughout the video, is the idea of time, okay? Because it's your biggest asset. It's the only thing in your life that you have a limited amount of, right? A limited amount of time. And so how you spend your time is totally up to you, and you can design a lifestyle that allows you to use your time and utilize your time in a way that you want to utilize your time, instead of being forced into a set pattern of beliefs and a set pattern of work. Alright, so let's go to the next slide. So before I end this presentation, you will understand the 3 phases of this system and how to generate a lifetime income. A lifetime income means that you'll have a passive income for your entire life, and it will, if you set it up correctly, it will be in the high 5 to 6 figure range every year, without you putting any extra effort or work into it. So that's the idea, is that you're going to set up a passive income. It's going to be a lifetime income. It's going to be guaranteed until you pass on. And I'm going to show you some, it even has death benefits, so when you pass on, any money that's left over will go to your heirs or your spouse. So if you're interested in doing something like that, and you're interested in maybe, so this is for any age group. So it could be, you could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. And this system would work for anybody, no matter what situation you're in. You don't need a whole lot of capital to get started, like I said at the beginning. And I'm going to show you how to utilize other people's capital and how they will willingly give it to you so that they benefit as well. And you, well, I'll share how you do that in just a moment. Another thing that I promise you is that you will learn how to get started today, even if you have no money saved up to invest, okay? So you can get started literally today, simply by making setting up a phone call with me, and I'll give you the next steps and get started. And again, there's no fees to work with me, and it's absolutely free, and you can get started today simply by booking a phone call at retireyounger.us/call. Now, this is not another job or another business. It's not a business opportunity. This is something that you can apply. You can work on a couple hours a day or an hour a day, about 10 hours a week, and this will allow you to set the path so that you can retire in the next 5 to 7 years. Now, I don't recommend, and I never will recommend, that you quit your current job or do anything that will be financially risky until you have all 3 phases set up and you are comfortable with the income that's producing for you on an annual basis. So take your time, set this up correctly, and you'll have a lifetime of benefits if you do it correctly. So don't be hasty and quit your job and think that this is going to be the answer to that, to solve all your problems. And you know, it is a solution, but it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, that's why I say 5 to 7 years, because you got to have that time frame to set this up. So this is a long-term goal, but it absolutely works if you apply it correctly. Alright, so I'm going to start the presentation. I'm going to give you the 3 phases of how to set up this program. Just want to start out with a few quotes, because the most important thing is having your reason why. This is not going to be instant, so you need to have a good reason why you're doing this. Otherwise, you're going to quit along the way, and you know, doing something a little while and then quitting is you might as well not do it at all. Okay, because you need to stick with it. So you need to have your reason why you're going to do this. So time lost is never found again is a quote by Ben Franklin. So what this quote means to me is that, once that time goes by, it's gone, right? And it's a finite resource that you'll never get back. So you need to plan how you're going to spend your time. How can you better utilize your time in your current situation? So here's another quote. Man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money, right? Sacrifices his time and health, right? Because you're not getting healthier. This is probably the healthiest day of your life right here. Tomorrow you're gonna be a little less healthy because you're getting older and older, and our body deteriorates as we get older. So it's just a natural phase of life, right? So he sacrifices his health in order to gain money, and then he sacrifices his money to recuperate his health, right? So we spend all this money on medical services and different things to regain our health, and then we become anxious about the future, and he doesn't enjoy the present. So if you're always worried about money and how you're going to pay the bills at the end of the month, you really don't have time to enjoy the present and do things that you really enjoy doing on a daily basis, right? So the results being is that he doesn't live in the present, right? You don't live in the present or the future. And basically, you live as you will never die, right? You live like you'll never die, right? And then you'll end up never really have lived, because basically what it's saying is that if you don't make a plan, if you don't have a plan for your life, and you just end up going from one crisis to the next crisis, trying to pay the bills and get things done, then you're going to waste the time that you do have, so that you end up with regrets at the end of your life. There was a story about a guy who went into a nursing home, and he kept asking the residents at the nursing home whether they're about their lives and stuff like that. And an overall theme came up. Basically, the theme was that everyone there had regrets that they didn't do the things that they wanted to do in their life before they got old and put into a nursing home. So how can you live a life that you don't have regrets for, right? So here's an example of what I call the 40-40-40 plan, right? And basically, you work 40 years, right, to save up 40% of your income, and then you live on that 40% of your original income. So it's called the 40-40-40 plan. All right. So basically, it's the system that we've been taught our entire lives, right? We're born, and then we are taught to go to school, and we're going to school to get a good job, right? To work those 40 hours a week, and then we want a family, of course, and be in love and support each other. And before you know it, old age hits, and then we have, we're heading towards our grave. So how can you get off this treadmill, or get out of this mindset that you have to work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire at age 65 or plus, and live on 40% of your income? How can we change the plan a little bit so that we can live our lives a bigger, better life with more purpose? How can we do that? So that's what we're going to talk about today. How can we do that, and why you want to do this? Maybe you're happy with this traditional model of life, right? Go to school, get a good job, work 40 years, retire age 65. And maybe if you did good planning with your retirement planning, you know, you would have a nice nest egg to live off. I'm going to share some problems with a nest egg theory, but maybe that's your plan, right? Or maybe you're not planning at all. The average, like 40% of the population has less than $10,000 saved up for retirement. So that's going to last you about a month. Good luck with that. So you're going to be living on 40% of your income, which is half of what you're making now. So you're going to have to reduce your lifestyle, and if you have a illness comes up, you know, you're going to be relying on government assistance, basically. All right, so why and what is retire younger mean? Well, it's not an age. Retirement is when your passive income meets your needs, right? And so it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want. When you reach that stage, that's when you've retired young, right? You can still be working, but retired young. It's really up to you. But you don't have to be, 59 and a half, 65 years old, 72 years old, whatever it is. You don't have to be an age. You could retire in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and have that passive income. And a friend of mine calls it enough is enough, right? You got to know your enough number. What number is it going to be for you to have enough, right? So maybe your dream is to be like my friend Rich here, who took these pictures with his wife, Robin. Maybe now he's not retired. He makes 6 figures a year, but they make it a priority to go on these destination vacations, and they take pictures. And their latest one in Fiji is not Fiji. Yeah, one of those Polynesian islands or something. But that there's some amazing pictures I need to put on this slide from that vacation. But they go on these destination vacations, and why? Because they make it a priority. So what do you make a priority in your life? What would your dream lifestyle be like? What are some of the things that you love to do, but you just can't do them because you don't have the money, you don't have the time, and you don't have the resources to do it? So what are some of those things? So write those down, and what I would do is work towards those goals. How can you make that happen? I mean, it's your life, right? You have the right to do whatever you want to do. Now, if you're watching this video and you haven't commented below, please comment, at least if you're watching it live or watching the replay. Excuse me while I take a drink. So, also comment below if some of the things that you'd love to do that you're not currently able to do because of time or money or just resources. So what is it that you're passionate about? That's what you need to get. For me, I'd love to sit around all day and just paint. I'm an artist. I love painting. So what is it that you'd want to do on a daily basis? You could wake up in the morning and just couldn't wait to do that activity, right? What is it that you would love to do? Who would be with you? What location would you be at, right? Would you be in your current living location? Would you live somewhere else? Would you have to travel? What would it take? And then figure how much that would cost. How much would that cost you to do that on a daily basis and not have to worry about paying the bills and things like that? So what's your number? What's your monthly number that you would need? And be realistic. Don't be, I need $1 million a month. I mean, no one needs $1 million a month unless you're a Kardashian or something, right? So think about that. All right, so here's the first phase. I need to hurry up because I gotta go. All right, so here's the first phase. It's called the partner program, and basically you have 3 functions on this, and this is totally free to join. You can join by going to the link below, which says retireyounger.us/call. Set up a call with me, and I'll send you a link on how to get started with this particular phase in the program. It doesn't require any capital on your part. It does require about 10 hours of work on your part. And this is just phase 1. We got 2 more phases coming. Okay, so phase 1 is you're going to find real estate property, right? And what we call it driving for dollars. You're going to go drive in the neighborhood, your local neighborhood, and you're going to find properties, and then you're going to list it with our app. And then I have a virtual assistant that's going to call those leads for you. And then when the seller says, yes, I want to sell my house, then I send you the contract. You go out to the seller, have them sign the contract, send it back to me, and then we complete the rest of the steps here, which is remarketing, rehabbing the property, closing, and so forth. And then when it closes, we split the profits 50-50. You can use that as retirement income. Your minimum payment is going to be $5,000. Your minimum payment for each deal that you do and find, you're going to get paid $5,000. So that's a pretty good deal, since you have no money into the deal besides a little bit of time. Okay, so it's very, very simple. It's simply like going down the street with your smartphone, clicking on the app, clicking on the property address, and hitting save. Right? It's very simple to list these properties, and then we do it from there, or we do the rest of the work. Now phase 2, which I talk about in my Retire Younger book. I give you the entire outline inside this book, but I also go into more detail in my new book called Fire Made Easy. But it talks about going out and finding private money investors. That's what we do. That's how we fund our deals. So this is how you use other people's money to fund your retirement. Basically, you're going to go out and find a private money investor who has a certain amount of capital that they would like to invest into a real estate property, and we teach you how to locate these properties and buy the properties at deep discounts, and then cash flow the properties. So that's what this diagram shows here. You go out and find the investor. They invest the capital with you. You JV with them, partner with them, and then you're going to give them 12% interest on their money that they let you borrow, or 15% of the profit if you're going to do a quick, what they call a flip, where you're going to buy it low and sell it at a higher price, and then you're going to sell it to another buyer and make a profit. It's called a quick flip, so you can give them 50% of that profit, or whichever one is greater. So those are the 2 things I recommend: 12% interest on a 12-month loan, and 15% of the profit if you're going to do a quick flip, which usually takes 30 to 60 days. All right, so but phase 2 you can totally skip if you wanted to. This allows you to make more money, allows you to do different types of deals, such as buy and holds and get that monthly cash flow, and not have any money in the deal because you're going to use a private money partner. Okay. So that's phase 2. So on each one of these flips, you're going to make a minimum of $50,000 per property, and that's over the lifetime of the lease option, which is 7 to 10 years. So you might probably make more than 50,000, but minimum you're going to make 50,000. Sorry about. All right, so if you're doing the traditional route of investing and saving up for retirement, you're basically going to build a nest egg. Okay, a nest egg, a amount of capital. Most people have a hard time even building this nest egg or saving up money for retirement. So there's a couple of problems with it. first of all, you're using a 401k, an IRA, or some type of pension fund, and all of these are tax deferred, which means that you're going to have to pay taxes on that money sometime in the future. Okay. They're all subject to the stock market. So if the stock market goes down, you're going to lose money. And then when you go to get disbursement, when you go to use that money in retirement, there's also an age requirement between 59.5 or above to access the money without a 10% penalty. Then when you go to access the money, if you pull out more money than the interest that the money is growing at, like let's say it's growing at 6% interest, and you pull 7% of the money out, then you're going to dip into your principal, and over time you're going to degrade the amount of capital in their growing interest, right? And eventually you're going to run out of money in retirement. And this happens to millions of people. They literally run out of money in retirement, have to depend on social services to support themselves or family members. Now, what our system does is it's more of a generator. So you put money in there to fuel the generator. The generator continuously gives more money, and there's a loan provision in the policy to allow you to borrow against the principal without taking the principal out of the account. Right? The money stays in there, and it's protected. And I'm going to go in the next slide and show you. So the idea is that we're using phase 1 and 2 to provide the fuel for phase 3, which is the lifetime income generator. So we're going to put our money in by using phase 1 and 2, which is the partner program or the private money partner program, and we're going to funnel the profits from that into our lifetime income generator. Now there's a lot of people, I don't know, there's very wealthy people who do this exact system that I'm showing you right here. To name a few, I'm not dropping names, but to name a few, Warren Buffett does this exact thing, but he uses businesses instead of buying real estate. He buys a business that cash flows. He takes the cash flow, puts it in one of these safe generators that I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about in just a second. Grant Cardone, another one, has 2 businesses, right? The first business is a sales and marketing business. Takes the profit from that, puts it in real estate, which cash flows, and then he has that second source of income. He doesn't spend the first income. The first income just funds the real estate. Then he lives off the real estate income, right? So there's 2 phases to his program. That's why he's so wealthy. And he started when he was 45 years old. Warren Buffett started in his 40s as well. So don't think that it's too late for you. You can get started at any time. And it doesn't require any or very little of your own capital to get started. Now, what is the lifetime income generator, and how is it different than anything else out there on the planet? So basically, it is an index universal life insurance policy. Index universal life insurance policy. Now, I know what you're saying, life insurance, and you're thinking about term insurance. This is a lifetime policy, right? So that it's not a term, it's not going to end after a certain number of years, or if your health deteriorates. This is a permanent life insurance, and it's index, which means that when the market goes down, your money plateaus. So you don't lose money, you don't lose your principal when the stock market goes down. When it goes up, then you make a percentage of the gain. Okay. Now the nice thing about this policy, under like other policies like an annuity, fixed annuity, which is also indexed, you're not capped. So if the market makes 20%, you get to keep 19%. If the market makes 10%, you get to keep 9%. And that money is added to your principal at the end of the year, which will give you exponential growth in your account. Now, the second little diagram down on the right hand side shows you the exponential growth that I talked about, what 1%, 2%, 3% interest would do for you. I don't know if I have that. So I'm going to have that diagram in front of me right now. But anyways, I'll have to share that with you on the phone. So give me a call. I'll give you that diagram there. Now the third one is tax benefits. The nice thing about the universal life insurance policy is literally you can pull the money out of this account up to 80% of it, right? So if you had $1 million in there, you can pull up to 80% of it out tax-free. And it does that by using the loan provision in the policy. You can borrow at, let's say, 5% interest. The policy grows to 7% interest, right? And it always gives you a cushion there where your money is always growing, right? It's always growing by that percentage rate. So that 2% spread, your policy will grow that by that 2%. It can also build up cash value in there, which you can borrow all the cash value in the account, 100% of that, and then still borrow against the principal. So when the nice thing about this policy is you borrow against it, right? You live on that income. It's tax-free, so you don't pay taxes on that. So if you want $100,000, you borrow $100,000. You don't have to borrow 120 or 127, right, to pay the taxes. Which is nice, and it allows you to utilize the money in the account. Tax-free, tax benefits. Well, that's basically it. That's the 3 phases. How you get started today is basically go to the link at the bottom. Obviously, my book is going to have a lot more detailed information. I'm still writing it, so if you could at least tell me some of the things that you would like to see in the book, please comment below and write those comments. I check back weekly to make sure that, or to see any comments that you leave. So please leave me a detailed comment about what you'd like to see in the book. Also, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all those great things. Till next time, this is Gian Roberts, the author of Retire Younger and Fire Made Easy. Talk to you next time. Check back, because I'm still working on this presentation. Obviously, you saw a few spots in the presentation that were missing information, so I'm going to be adding that information. So check back, check the new videos, new updates, and you'll see that I will steadily improve over time and give you more and more information. So until next time, I'll see you then.